Hello, friends. Happy, what day is it? Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. I am just working and I've been sitting here listening to Kingdom of Exiles and I think I'm going to have to DNF. I mean, okay, first of all, let's talk about it, talk about what it is. So Kingdom of Exiles is it's a dual POV and we follow Lena and Nox. So Lena is a charmer where she can charm different beasts. She can find these magical creatures and they all have different classes and different abilities, and she can kind of keep them in a pocket realm almost and call on them when she needs them to aid her. And she can also, I think, train them for capture them for other people perhaps. I think that's kind of the gist of it. We follow Lena and she has a bounty out on her for something that she didn't do, that she was blamed for, basically doing something to one of the beasts. So the charmers have kicked her out and she has a bounty and people are trying to murder her. So anyway, the other character, Nox, is part of an assassin's guild, and his guild was paid by this mysterious person to kill Lena. And basically she catches them when they try to kill her and makes a deal with them, with the main guy, Nox. And Nox is undead, I think. He's a shadow wielder, but I think he's dead technically. But he also is super mysterious, and he basically has some sort of guess on him, he has a problem where he can't get too close to people or they almost die or something happens to them. That's kind of what I'm gathering. And he's trying to get that fixed, get that taken off. And he's using Lena to kind of help him find a beast that could possibly help. But anyway, he's also thinking about double crossing her. It's a whole thing. But anyway, the reasoning, so it is an interesting story. But the reason that I'm struggling is it is so insta-love. The amount, we went from literally one page they hated each other to the next page they're staring into each other's eyes and I think she wants me to talk to her, and is she pulling me in for a reason, or oh my gosh, his eyes are two black pools. I don't know, it's just annoying the crap out of me. I don't feel I'm not buying it. I don't feel we know them all that well. I don't know why she's attracted to him, or is this just attraction? You can't just fall in love with somebody like that. That's not how it works. So I think I'm 4 hours in and I just keep rolling my eyes and it's getting on my nerves, and I think I'm just going to DNF it. So I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of done. So my friend has also read it, and apparently she's been on 80% and had the same problems forever. So I think I'm just going to call it quits. Why waste time listening or reading books when you're not feeling them, when there's so many other books out there that you can like? So that's where I'm at on that. Hello, friends. Happy Thursday? Is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Yeah. I swear, I don't even know what day it is anymore. Does anyone feel that way? That they just don't even know what day it is? Don't even know. But we have some really exciting mail. Something that I ordered, I don't know, April, long time ago. And it's finally here. But before we get to the exciting thing, this is also exciting, but small. So I'm a Patreon member for, let's see, Bulbalana. I think that's finally how you say it. It's like Bulbasaur, but Lana at the end. So she has a Patreon pin club. So every month you get a pin, a sticker, and an art print. And I just joined last month. So last month's pin was a Charmander, it was a Charizard. So super cute. And I like to collect Pokemon pins. I just love Pokemon in general. Charmander and Charizard are my favorite. Any iteration of him is my very favorite. I grew up loving it. My mom hated that I loved it, but I loved it. Fun fact, I watched 700 of the anime episodes at one time in college. I was super proud of the fact that I'd probably watched all of them at one time, and then I just kind of lost that title because they just kept coming out with more. But anyway, so she does a little set every month for you. And I will link her Instagram down below. And here is the art print. So this month was based on Cubone, which I think he's so precious. So he's got he's like wishing on a star, and he's got his bone, and he's kind of crying, and he's got his little like Cubone head. So, and this is such a pretty print. And then there was a sticker, which is, I believe she also makes a keychain of this. So it's Cubone and like a baby Cubone, like a Cubone mom and a baby one. And they've got like cherry blossoms around them. Super sweet. But the pen is absolutely stunning. It's Cubone sniffing some flowers. And like, this is a really big pen. Like you can see, like against my, that's a good size pen. So I think every month it's $14. And like, this is a really solid, like nice size pen. So it's helping to grow, like I'm supporting an artist, and it's helping to grow my Pokemon pen collection. So yeah, okay. So that's the first thing. And then the exciting thing is this big white box came, and it is the Nerdy Ink Throne of Glass recovered situation. I've been waiting on this for a while. I'm super excited about it. Now, they had some like production issues with COVID, and then I saw on their story that one of the, I think Kingdom of Ash had like a color issue, so she wanted to get that redone. So they included, because it took so long, they included 2 extra prints. So even if you didn't buy like because there were different tiers that you could purchase, and so every tier got 2 extra prints. And then also some of their boxes, so this comes in like a special edition collector's box, and some of the boxes arrived damaged, so like more boxes than what they had. So if you took a damaged box, then you got a free set of the prints, like all of the covers as prints. So I also signed up for that because like, that's fine, I don't care, I'd rather have the prints. So let's get into it. I'm so excited to see this. The problem is I already have 1, 2, 3. So I have the regular, so I have a lot of Throne of Glass. I have the like regular standard editions, of course. Then I have the set from Bookish Box, which I really like. I am still salty about the fact that they don't match necessarily. I just wish they'd done all the spines the same. I think if they'd done the spines the same, then it wouldn't have been a problem. But like, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. But some of like 2 of their covers are like absolutely insane. And then I also, Fake Crate came out with a set. So currently I've got like 3 in use, and I don't know how I don't have another set. So let's just get into it. We'll figure it out. Maybe it'll be like every 6 months I'll change out what Throne of Glass cover is on there. Maybe that's where we're at. So first thing we see here is these are all of the prints that we got for free. And my box, so the collector's box looks like this, which we have the Lord of the North on there, and like the forest, and just like, look how beautiful this is. All of the details. I just love that. And really, I mean, the only damage I'm seeing is right here in the corner. So, I mean, if that's it, that was well worth it. And this box will be so nice to have. Like, maybe I can put my other covers in here because it's pretty, like, thick. So I could probably store the other covers when I'm not using them. We'll get into the art prints in a second, depending on how... I don't know if I want to take out the covers yet. Maybe I'll take out one. Ooh, okay. So the inside of the box has a map of Aurelia, and that's so pretty. I think this is actually one of the prints that we have. And then the inside looks like this. So there's a set of pins, and then there's the covers up there. And I'm so excited for the pins. I don't know. I think I only know what one of them looked like, and then the rest, like, this is the first time I'm seeing them. I'm so glad I made this purchase. Okay. Let's calm down here. Let's calm down. Okay. Do we want to look at covers first or pins? covers. Okay, so because I feel like the pins are going to be the most exciting, so let's look at those last. So the 2 extra prints are already in here. Oh, I want to be really careful because they're kind of thin. Okay, what I might do is unbox these when I can put them on the actual books. So let's look at the art prints, because that is like pretty much the same as what's on the covers. Oh, this is really cool. It looks like a coloring book page. So maybe it's like a little citizens of Terrasen, due to recent and ongoing battles affecting much of the population, there's been several unforeseen delays on many shipments, including this highly anticipated cargo, for which we sincerely hope the 2 added gifts will ease any troubles gained during the extended wait. Keep safe, stay well, and rattle the stars. So this is so pretty. It's really cute. That's like a little like coloring page if you want. But I think it's just their little way of saying thanks. So these are the 2 extra art prints. And then, like I said, this is the map that's on the inside of the box. So that's Aurelia. And this is really good cardstock and really nice quality. Definitely going to be putting this on the wall. I just need to like flatten them out for a while. And then this is also the box cover of the Lord of the North Stag. Yeah. I mean, I think it's, if I'm like putting my foot in my mouth, that's going to be awkward. I don't want to get out all of the covers yet until I can actually put them on, which I'll do that here in a little while. Oh, and here's all the pin backs. So that's good. Odin, I don't need your big wet nose in here ruining art prints. That would be not fun. So I'm just going to put that back in for now. And I'll definitely like show you guys as soon as I put them on. So, but we can get an idea now of what they look like. So, start from the beginning. We have, and what's really nice, these are double-sided art prints. So this is what the actual cover would look like. So it's Throne of Glass, and obviously we have Selena. And then that's the other side without the title in front of it, which I really like that. So that's awesome. We have the Assassin's Blade, Sam Cortland. Look at how awesome he looks. We have Crown of Midnight. Is this Dorian? I feel like it's Dorian. It's either Dorian or Kaol, but I'm going to go with Dorian. I'll let you know if I come across one of them elsewhere. Obviously, we have Rowan, my fave. And his face tattoos look so good. We have Queen of Shadows with Manon and Abraxos. And everything is just so detailed. Then we have Empire of Storms with Lysandra. Okay, yeah, so this is Kaol. Then we have Tower of Dawn, Kaol. And then we have Irene on Kingdom of Ash. And this was part of the delay because her skin tone apparently was like extremely orange. So they resubmitted it to have it redone. So, but everything looks, these are absolutely stunning. I almost didn't get this set, almost, because I was like, man, do I really need more? But then when I saw they were doing pins, that's what sold it for me. So that's what we're going to look at next. Okay, I feel like this is going to be a better angle to look at them like one at a time. So, here's the first one. Do not be afraid of what makes you shine brightly. I don't know where that quote is from. Obviously, well, okay, well, I'll take that back. I just don't know which book that's in. Maybe no, probably Throne of Glass. I don't know. Sounds like something Nehemia would say, which I'm slightly perturbed. I kind of wish she was on a cover. I feel like she deserves a cover. That would have been cool, but you know, there's only so many characters we can feature. So, okay, pin number 2. The world will be saved and remade by the dreamers. It's kind of like a greenish tone. Oh, looks like there's a slight little imperfection right there. That's not bad. I mean, listen, I'm not going to be that picky about it. And then the back has nerdy on it. Okay, next. This Girl Was Wildfire. Pretty. Crafted from the Darkness Between the Stars. I feel like that's a Kraken reference. Definitely like a Manon thing, because it's kind of like a burgundy red with the white, which is probably her hair. So, really pretty. And those are like closed eyes. Oh, and like a moon on her forehead. Really detailed. Okay. Then we have this one. She Was Fire and Light and Ash. And here's the thing. Not everybody's read these books, so I don't really want to say what I know about this, because if you don't know, I don't want to give it away, because I think it's really important. So, if you know who this is, you know. Okay. Next. You Remind Me of What the World Can Be. Pretty sure that that gets said to Rowan, or Rowan says that to somebody. One or the other. God, I've been like kind of craving a reread. Maybe we'll do that. I Am Here, I Am With You. I'm pretty sure that's Kingdom of Ash. Ugh. Makes me want to tear up. And then finally, To Whatever End. And then we have the ice and the fire representation. One of my all-time favorite quotes. So, and here they all were, lined up in their beautiful little box. What a great, like, setup. These were packaged amazingly. Like, this was well worth the price I paid. I think I paid like $50 or $60. And I feel like I really got my money's worth in this. Especially once I get all of the, like, these are really good cardstock. So once I get all these out and get them on the books, I think it's going to look excellent. So, yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, that's kind of how it all comes packaged. Really great job, Nerdy Ink. I will be purchasing again for future stuff. So, I know that I mentioned that I have a lot of copies of Throne of Glass and Sarah J. Maas in general, but before I switch out to the Nerdy Ink ones, I did want to just like show you guys the Fake Rate Throne of Glass ones. So this is kind of like my Throne of Glass collection, which I have. This is like the first version of the cover, which I'm really glad we obviously changed that, but just having this in my collection is really exciting. But these were done by Fake Rate, and they're beautiful. I love how the titles are all metallic, and I also love that they have all of the numbers on them. So like here we have Sam and Dorian, and in the back has the Eye of Elena on it. So they're very pretty. These are some of my prized ones, because this is my favorite Charlie Bowater art, and it wraps around like the whole cover, obviously, but I don't have enough room for all that nonsense. But I mean, we have Rowan, and we have, not going to mention it because it's a spoiler, and then we have Dorian on this side, and then Manon is over here. And this was, I think, the Barnes & Noble special edition, which, does that mean I have like 3 copies of it? Maybe it does. But this is like just, I love having it laid out like this on my shelf. And then of course up here are these were the Bookish box covers that I said I love the art, but I hate that they don't match. So the Assassin's Blade, I absolutely adore how this turned out. So I kind of display it all the time. There's the sword on the back. And then, oh, look at Manon. Like, she's such a queen right there. It's just great. So, but here's the thing. You don't even know what these are. Like, the spine has nothing. They're not, like, so these came out in a box series that released, like, 3 different boxes that they released over the span of, like, 6 months, maybe. Which is fine, but over time, each box came with like 3 dust jackets. So they kind of changed almost every box. So we have these, and then at the end though, here's how, like, they totally changed. So then this is like the end, and this is the back on the last 3, but then the other ones don't have, I don't know. It just really annoyed me. But the art itself is absolutely stunning. And then I have paperback copies. So these are all the US paperbacks. And then these are the start of the European paperbacks. I don't have all of them yet, but we're getting there. So yeah, do I have a lot of Throne of Glass? I do. And then up there I have the box set, but they're empty. Like, it's just the covers up there because I had to use the books to make this shelf work. Anywho, I'm going to stop talking and put on the Nerdy Ink covers. Be right back. Okay, here they are in all of their beautiful glory. We're going to take a look at all of them in depth just to, like, check it out. But here they are all stacked up together. I mean, that is a beautiful set. I am blown away. So impressed. I almost didn't buy this, and I'm really glad I did. So yeah, let's take a look at each of the covers. So I feel like more often than not people are familiar with the Throne of Glass series, but if you're not, actually the order that you would want to read them in is starting with Throne of Glass, which we have Selena on the cover right there. And I love how she added stars, because like one of the quote is like rattle the stars. So that's the first cover. And then on the back, there's a quote from each of the book. And then on the inside, it's a map of Aurelia. And I think that's really cool. So it's the same map that we have. So I won't show you every time, but the map is on the side. So we would start with Throne of Glass, obviously. And then the next book in the series is Crown of Midnight. And on the cover, we have Dorian. And I just want to like stare at these covers and see if there's any like hidden details. I'm sure that there are. So, and then on the back, oh, please excuse, one of my cats is in the litter box. Yay. But I love how it's the same look, just a different quote and maybe a different color scheme. So, and then I won't show you the inside because the map's the same, but Dorian's on the side there. So after you finish the first 2, it's recommended probably at that point that you would go back and read The Assassin's Blade, which is like a prequel. So on the front we have Sam Cortland. And this is like a series of novellas that kind of go along with the story that bring in like future characters that we'd meet. So this is like 2.5, I guess, but it goes back to the beginning. There's the side. And then here's the back. Thank you, Zuko. Up next, we have Heir of Fire, which we have Rowan on this cover in all of his amazing glory. And then here's the back. After that, we have Queen of Shadows, which I love that this has Manon and Abraxos. So I think that that's such an awesome detail to include. And look at her long nails. Oh, sweet. That's a cool detail. And her red cloak. I think that's important to note too. And here's the back. And then we have Empire of Storms, and we have Lysandra. There's the side. Ooh, nameless is my price. That gives me chills to think about. And then we have Tower of Dawn, which Tower of Dawn was supposed to be like a novella about Chaol, and it turned into like a full-size novel. It turned into like 600 or 700 pages, which these don't look that thick, but trust me, they are. The pages are just really thin. So we have Chaol right there. And it really wasn't even until Tower of Dawn that I liked Chaol. I kind of hated him for a long time. And then finally, we have Kingdom of Ash, which is the final book in the series, and we have Irene on the cover. Then we have my cat growling over food in the background. Cool. There's the back. And yeah, that's the whole set. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to get them on my shelves and I'll show you the final look. Okay, what do we think? Wow. I am really happy. Those look so good. They're so like, just they stand out. I'm gonna back up. My shelves are a bit messy right now, so. Wow, those really, the white just stands out so much. I'm super impressed. I am a fan, Nerdy Inc. Great job, 2 thumbs up. So glad I purchased. Okay guys, so remember I mentioned I have this really big wall scenario, and originally here was just this big wooden print that had a quote from Mumford & Sons, and I decided, because I did so much Disney over here, that I was going to pull out my Disney gallery wall from the other room and put it on this wall. So please ignore all the dust. I'm about to dust right now to make sure it's all good, but I'm about to put, hello sir, please get down. I'm about to make this gallery wall come to life, so I'll let you know. Okay, there's a pretty bad glare, but I think it looks really nice. I kind of ran out of room, so I had to build up a little bit more than originally the Lion King print was not, or the canvas was not up there. But I can always like build more up and have some more room to grow. The bottom part is pretty much done because my cushions come up pretty high. So I think once I get my couch put back together, but I'm gonna vacuum it and dust it off and all that stuff. But I could probably use something over higher in that corner. And I could have put the canvas there, but there's a light up there and I don't want it to get faded over time. I don't know, would that happen? I have no idea, but I feel like it could. And I really don't want any of these prints to be affected. Okay, I changed it. I think this looks better. Okay, much better. I moved the Lion King print down and kind of moved some things around so it would work. But yeah, I'll show you whenever I fluff my couch. Okay, now I'm out of breath because I just fluffed my whole couch. It's looking much better. I'm really liking how it all went together. It's Friday! We made it! Yay! Okay, I just got back from walking Odin, finished up work for the day, and now I'm about to clean my room. If you're familiar, if you have a long-haired dog, if you have any sort of like hairy animal, Odin is shedding right now. So the amount of fur that's in my floor and in his crate and just surrounding areas is kind of insane. I just turned all the lights on and I was like, whoa. So I'm about to do like a solid vacuum and just try to get up all this fur. I also want to like clean out my closet a bit. So let's do that. I'll check in. Well, I think we are successful in cleaning this little Bean over here is laying on a Vera that I just drug out for him. In case I've never said this, I don't think I have. He is obsessed. Raja has always been obsessed with Vera Bradley bags. I kind of just have one for him in general that he just, like an old one of mine that he loves to lay on. But that's one of my newer ones. It's like a Disney one that he's never really laid on before. So I felt bad and I'm letting him lay on it. But I pretty much went through all of my drawers and took every piece of clothing out and folded it, decided if I wanted to keep it, yes or no, and kind of did the same thing in my closet. So had a bit of a closet refresh and we're feeling good. You know, it feels much better in here. Feeling clean. Raja agrees. Look at him. Are you so happy? Yeah. Tell us. Are you happy, boy? Are you not happy? Raji, are you happy? I think you have a bit of an underbite. You have a bit of an underbite? Maybe a little bit. Okay, I'll leave you to it. He is now inside. Oh. What are you doing? Did you hear me? See, it came out. If he goes back in, I'll come back. Okay, it is Saturday. Another day of rearranging. I have this weird little okay, well, first of all, just ignore the mess over here. But I have this weird kitchen window, and then this is my dining room area where I work. And previously this wall just had these animal pictures, which are actually really cool. They're metal prints. So these are actually pasted on metal. But anyway, I had this print, this Mumford & Sons quote, over my couch. And as you know, I put all my Disney pictures there. So I think this works really well in the dining room. Let me see if I can get, well, I just don't have a lot of room. But I think it actually looks really nice. I'm pleasantly surprised. A few things are, God, it's hard to keep things straight. But anyway, I am happy with it. Okay, happy Saturday. It's I don't know, 6 o'clock. I've not vlogged all day. I've basically just hung out and played some more. Well, I beat Super Paper Mario, the Origami King. So we're done with that finally. But I didn't get all the collectibles or find all the toads. So anyway, I've been working on that. But now I'm going to sit down and actually read for once. I feel like I've been kind of in a weird slump this week. I've just not been, nothing I've been reading, it's not that they're not good, I'm just not in the mood. So I'm going to sit down on the couch and do a little reading montage, and let's read some of the Stormcrow. About the Stormcrow. I don't feel like I've given a synopsis about this. Well, first of all, look at this embossed inside cover. It's so cool. It's a really pretty metallic gold with lightning on it and stars. I love that. So I think that this book has a couple of great things about it. So basically we have this whole Warring Kingdoms scenario again in a different format, a different book. But basically we live in Rodaire, and Rodaire uses crow magic. And when I say crow magic, they have all different types of crows that can manifest different elements, different kinds of magic. We have storm crows that they obviously do exactly what their name says. They manipulate the storms and the air currents. We have shadow crows who are like the spies. We have earth crows who do the crops. We have like fire crow, like you name it, there's probably a crow. But Rodair also like depends on these crows. Like if you have a crow as a rider, like they have like crow riders and they form a bond with their crow. So basically the people of Rodair are very dependent on their crows for their way of life. Our main character, Thea, she is the princess of the kingdom. She has an older sister, Khaleesa, and Khaleesa wants nothing to do with the crows, whereas Thea wants to become a crow rider. In the beginning, on one of their like holiday nights, basically there's a big sabotage and all of the crows are killed. All of the basically all of the crow riders and the crows are killed. The queen is killed, like literally everyone dies. And Thea all of a sudden becomes like not queen because her older sister is the queen at this point, but like she's thrust into like a world without crows, a world without her mom, like a world without like her like mentor who was her mother's best friend. So we pick up, basically that's the prologue, and then we pick up right after that where the crows are gone, their kingdom is failing. They've got this, the kingdom that did it, Alucia, is like right on their heels, wanting to like come in, like biting at their heels and take over and ruin the kingdom. So one of the things that I think that this book does really well is it depicts depression and anxiety really, really well. I remember I read this last year, right when I moved into my new house, right after like my separation took place, and I related so much because I went through like a depression stage and an anxious stage, which I'd never done. I'd never had that before, but you know, with everything that happened in my life, like I could relate so much to our main character, and I feel like the author did such an awesome job kind of depicting depression. It was the first time in a book where I really understood exactly what she was talking about. So I feel like it was so well done. So anyway, Thea is very depressed, obviously. She has lost everything that she holds dear. She was supposed to get a crow that night, and that didn't happen. Like, all of them were destroyed. All of the eggs were destroyed. Or so we thought. So basically, this book is just kind of a lot of like political intrigue and trying to figure out how we can get out of the clutches of this other kingdom. And she also is kind of having to deal with being betrothed to this kingdom who destroyed their lives son, like the prince of the terrible kingdom. So anyway, she's just trying to find some ways out of it. You know, maybe all the crows are gone, maybe they're not. I'll leave that where we're at. So yeah, that's kind of a synopsis about it, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a pretty easy read. I feel like I said, she does a really good job describing how our character is feeling and like the character development of that. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep on reading. I've got Zelda going on in the background. Finally, so this that I'm watching on YouTube, it was like an 140 episode, 100% gameplay, walkthrough of Breath of the Wild. And I'm on episode 126. So we finally defeated it. So this second half is the DLC. So I can kind of not have to pay attention as much as I was, just because I wanted to see the ending again. Because I didn't remember it. It's been a couple years since I last saw how this all wrapped up. So anyway, I'm just going to have this going on in the background and keep on reading. I'll check in with you guys later. We've had a lot of rain lately, but right now it's a beautiful evening and it's nice and cool. It's probably low 70s and there's a breeze. So we've come out to the porch. Hey, leave it so we can keep reading. I've read probably about 100 more pages. So a little over halfway now. Not too bad. So we're gonna hang out here. Odin's got some toys out here. So yeah, check in with you guys in a bit. Okay, you ready? Wow, thanks, that was anticlimactic. No, don't come back over here. Get me all wet. Sir, what are you doing? Don't judge my stain. They've replaced the boards like 2 different times while I've been here, so this set is like the old stain. This set has been here for like a year and was never stained. And then this set just got replaced this year. So we've got 3 different colors. Wow, buddy. What happened there? Did you just fall over? And then I have my hose strung up here because Odin likes to play in the water. So sometimes I'll just come out here and we'll spray with the hose. What you doing there, bud? Oh, I love it. This is like the epitome of lazy playing. What are you doing? Here's a question. Is it like weird that the crows would eat chicken? I mean, is that like bird cannibalism? I mean, I'm just asking. Because I find that I find that a little odd. I mean, chicken just seems like kind of like the normal thing for animals, but it's a bird. And a crow's a bird. Just saying. Woohoo! Just finished it. The storm crow. Yay! One thing that's actually really nice is in the back, she's got like a glossary that goes over all of the different houses that are involved in Rodair, as well as like the storm crows and like details on them. So I think that's super helpful because there's a lot. Like this magic system is pretty vast. So I think it's really nice to have like a glossary in the back that kind of goes over that. I feel like 2019 was the year of like bird books, and this was definitely one of my like standout favorites. It is just a duology, and I feel like I could probably read more than just 2 books on it. And I feel like it could be expanded. Like the world was so interesting to me that I probably would enjoy reading a lot about it. I think that the crow magic system is just so cool. Because, you know, we have like the Crown of Feathers, which was about phoenixes, and like they're automatically cool because they're like firebirds who can come back from the dead. But like crows, like, do you ever like think about making crow magic? I didn't. But there's so many different types of crows, and they're so interesting. Like the battle crows, their feathers turn into metal as like a shield, and I think that's so cool. And I think you can also use them as like maybe even arrows or something. But anyway, I really enjoyed this reread. I think I gave it 4 stars when I read it last time, but really it's probably a 4.5 star read for me. I wish that the romance development was more, and I think that was my qualm with the first one. I really don't like who the romantic person like I don't like who she's currently with, I guess you could say. I don't want to like spoil it, but so I always had an issue with that, and I still like it wasn't as prominent to me. Like I didn't take as much issue with it in this reread as I did the first time. So I would bump it up a 0.5 star to a 4.5 star read. But I'll be interested. I'm excited to start the second one, like the finale of this series. I'm excited to see how things go, and I don't know. It was very good. So anyway, 1 book down. I've started like 6 more this week because I couldn't decide what to read. But yeah, so finish The Storm Crow. Pick it up if you haven't. It's very good. Hello vlog. Happy Sunday. I am just leaving the pool, obviously. Had lunch with my mom today at a little local restaurant, and we just left the pool. I finished obviously I finished the Storm Crow last night, and I started the Crow Rider today. I'm about 120-ish pages in, and it basically just picks up right where we ended in the Storm Crow. So everything is just kind of happening. Like I mentioned, this is a duology, so this will be like the finale. And so far, like, the things that have happened are things that I am glad have happened, especially in the romantic category. So yeah, I don't want to give too much away, because obviously if you haven't read the Storm Crow, like, everything would be a spoiler. So I'll just kind of give you like updates as to when I finish it. But anyway, it's been very good so far. I love it when he plays by himself. I can hear these squeaks while I sleep. It's literally the song of your people, buddy. I'm exhausted. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight, but I just feel like I've been hit by a bus. I think it's probably because I sometimes, most of the time, stay up until like 1, 2, usually 2. And this morning I had to get up early so that Odin wasn't in the crate too much, because I knew I had a busy day and was going to be out of the house some. So I just don't want him to have to, because he sleeps in the crate at night. And then if I'm gone, he's also crated. So I'm trying to be cognizant of his crate usage. I mean, he's not hardly ever in the crate just because I already work from home. So he's very lucky and spoiled in that regard. But I do try to be very, like, cautious. Because, I mean, who wants to stay in the crate all the time? So anyway, I got up early and I am crashing. It is only 10:30 and I am crashing hard. Basically after, so I think one of the last clips I checked in was leaving the pool. After that, I kind of came home. We took a long walk to get some of that energy out, and then came back and I like dozed on the couch for like 30 minutes and have just watched YouTube and TV the rest of the evening. I did go over to my cousin's house for dinner, and I walked in and my like youngest cousin, who's 7, was having like a Hamilton or Hamelman, that's what he calls them, a Hamelman party, just singing like and dancing to the first few songs. So, and then I started introducing, so my 7-year-old cousin and my almost 11-year-old cousin to The Last Airbender. And we like watched the first 3 episodes on the couch tonight and they loved it. So I'm excited because I'll have like some peeps to talk to about it. So that was a lot of fun. And then I've come home and hung out with O, played ball, as you saw on the couch, and haven't read a single darn thing. So that's pretty much what I'm getting at, is I haven't read since the pool. But I just wanted to go ahead and wrap this vlog up for the week. I finished. I didn't have a very successful week, so we'll just leave it at that. I couldn't decide what to read. I felt a little slumpish this week. I don't know. I feel like I kind of ran myself down in July with how much I read. But I did finish The Storm Crow, which I really enjoyed that, and it was a 4.5-star read for me, a reread. And I have started, I'm like 120 pages into The Crow Rider, which is the sequel to that. So I think I did DNF Kingdom of Exiles as a reminder. I just was not feeling it. And why waste time? Like, if you're not feeling a book, why, like, make yourself? I feel like at this point, hate it. So I did quit that book. And I've kind of just, like, bounced around, I feel like, in a bunch of different ways. I have not finished the third Heir Awakens book. Just because, okay, here's the thing. When you know something that like when you can tell something's going to happen and you're like kind of dreading it, like basically a breakup is going to happen and I know it's coming and I know it has to happen, but I'm kind of like dreading it because I know it's going to make me so mad. So I've kind of like halted almost. I'm not necessarily scared to read it, but you know, like when you can tell something's coming and you just are like not feeling like it, you don't want it to happen. So I'm avoiding it. But anyway, I'll finish it this week. So yeah, let's just wrap it up now. I'm gonna lay here and probably fall asleep with the cats and then head to bed pretty early because tomorrow starts another work week. I'm having somebody come and fix something in my townhome because it's broken. So we'll have to get up early again tomorrow to be ready for that. So anyway, all that to say, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you'll stay around and you'll like and subscribe and comment because I love talking to you guys and I've had so much fun like meeting all sorts of people from around the world, and I'm so excited that you're here, and thank you to my like regular commenters. I am just enjoying so much. So anyway, thank you so much and I will see you in my next one.